In this video, I'm going to be going over the workouts, diets, and lifestyles of bodybuilders over the past 100 years all the way to now. Starting off with the Bronze Era. The Bronze Era of bodybuilding is generally considered to be from the late 19th century to the early 20th century. This period laid the groundwork for modern bodybuilding, and some key figures included Eugene Sandow, who is often referred to as the father of modern bodybuilding. Others include George Hackenschmidt and Arthur Saxon. The training during this era was more about functional strength and overall fitness. They used basic equipment like barbells, dumbbells, and even homemade weights. However, they did not have access to benches or squat racks as they were not yet invented, and they often lacked a chest and leg development because of this. The primary horizontal pressing movement for their chests were a simple push-up, and the majority of their lifting was often done overhead. There was the hack squat, which is squatting without a rack, which almost looks like a circus feat of strength, and another exercise where it looks like they're kind of standing on their head as a balance to bench press, but that's as close as it got. Diets were quite basic, focusing on natural foods like eggs, meat, and vegetables, and there was less of an emphasis on supplements than there is today. The first major bodybuilding competition was organized by Eugene Sandow in 1901, known as the Great Competition. This contest was won by William L. Murray. The standards by which the Great Competition was judged was by who embodied the closest resemblance to the Greek and ancient Roman statues of the gods. The overall legacy that the Bronze Era left was that it set the stage for the development of bodybuilding as a sport. The focus was on strength, health, and physique, which influenced later eras on everything except for staying natural, which we'll get there. It is just fascinating to see how bodybuilding evolves over time, and if we fast forward throughout weightlifting history to the Silver Era, which is my personal favorite, we can see many classic physiques which were more focused on symmetry, proportion, and aesthetics rather than just sheer size. The Silver Era of bodybuilding is often considered to be from the 1940s to the 1960s. Some of the most famous bodybuilders from this era include Steve Reeves, Reg Park, and John Grimmick. They were known for their well-balanced and aesthetically pleasing physiques. And by this point in time, the squat rack and the bench press had been invented and was skyrocketing in popularity. Many of the training methods during the Silver Era often emphasized the compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses. They focused on full-body workouts often, rather than isolating muscle groups. The diet was relatively simple compared to today's standards. It included whole foods, high protein intake, and often involved drinking a lot of milk. And at this time, the Mr. America and Mr. Universe contests were some of the most prestigious competitions. Winning these titles was a significant achievement, and all of the competitors were still natural at this point in time. The Silver Era set the foundation for modern bodybuilding and the focus on aesthetics and balanced development, and much like the Bronze Era, they paved the way and still influence much of bodybuilding today. Now we move on to the most well-known era, the Golden Era. The start of the steroid use and the more modern scene of what bodybuilding is becoming, which is a pharmaceutical eating contest and jacking up one's own body for mass and nothing else rather than one of health and beauty. The Golden Era of bodybuilding is typically considered to be from the late 1960s to the early 1980s. This era is iconic for its emphasis on aesthetics, symmetry, and proportion, mainly proportion. The Golden Era produced some of the most famous bodybuilders, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, and Frank Zane. These athletes are still celebrated for their impressive physiques and contributions to the sport, and even those who don't keep up with much bodybuilding very hardcore-like will still often recognize names like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Training during this period was intense and focused. Bodybuilders often trained twice a day using a combination of free weights and machines. They emphasized muscle isolation and high-volume training because they were enhanced. Diets were carefully planned with a strong focus on high protein intake, balanced with carbohydrates and fats. Many supplements, like protein powders and amino acids, became more popular during this time. The cultural impact was also much greater during the Golden Era as it helped bring bodybuilding into the mainstream. Movies like Pumping Iron and the rise of fitness magazines contributed to the sport's popularity. The Golden Era is often looked back on with nostalgia for its focus on enhanced yet still classic and oftentimes very aesthetic physiques. And that was the past 100 years of bodybuilding in less than 5 minutes. We went through each era of bodybuilding from bronze to silver to gold and discussed the diets and training methods, as well as goals and lifestyles, feats of strength, and health and beauty. Comment below which era was your favorite and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And have a blessed day, my friend. Stay natural. Powerlifting has undergone significant evolution over the past century, transforming from a niche strength sport into a globally recognized competitive discipline. Its roots can be traced back to the early 20th century, when strength competitions were primarily focused on feats of strength rather than standardized lifts. Early strongmen and circus performers showcased their abilities in various strength challenges, laying the groundwork for what would eventually become powerlifting. In the 1950s, powerlifting began to take shape as a distinct sport. The American Strength Association, or ASA, was formed in 1958, and the first official powerlifting competitions were held. These early competitions included a variety of lifts, but by the 1960s, the three core lifts, squat, bench press, and deadlift, were standardized. This standardization helped to formalize the sport and set the stage for its growth. The 1970s marked a period of rapid development for powerlifting. The International Powerlifting Federation, the IPF, was established in 1972, providing an international governing body to oversee the sport. This decade also saw the introduction of weight classes, which allowed for fairer competition among lifters of different sizes. The IPF's establishment and the introduction of weight classes were crucial steps in making powerlifting a more organized and competitive sport. Throughout the 1980s, powerlifting continued to grow in popularity. The sport saw an increase in the number of competitions and participants, and records were being set and broken at a rapid pace. The development of specialized powerlifting equipment such as squat suits and bench shirts also began during this time. These advancements helped lifters achieve greater performance, although they also sparked debates about the role of equipment in the sport. The 1990s brought further advancements and challenges to powerlifting. The sport continued to gain recognition, with more countries participating in international competitions. However, the use of performance-enhancing drugs became a significant issue. The IPF and other organizations implemented stricter drug testing protocols to ensure fair competition. Despite these challenges, powerlifting maintained its growth and continued to attract many new athletes. In the early 2000s, powerlifting saw a resurgence in popularity, partly due to the rise of social media and online communities. These platforms allowed lifters to share their training and competition experiences, fostering a sense of community and camaraderie. The sport also benefited from increased media coverage, with major competitions being broadcasted and streamed online. The 2010s were marked by significant achievements and milestones in powerlifting. The sport saw an influx of new talent, with many lifters setting world records and pushing the boundaries of human strength. The popularity of powerlifting continued to rise, with more people participating in the sport at both amateur and professional levels. The introduction of raw lifting, which emphasizes minimal equipment use, also gained traction and brought a new dimension to the sport. Women's participation in powerlifting has seen remarkable growth over the past few decades. Initially, the sport was male-dominated, but women have increasingly made their mark, breaking records and achieving high levels of performance. Organizations have made efforts to promote gender equality in the sport, and women's powerlifting has become a significant and celebrated aspect of the powerlifting community. Powerlifting has also seen a diversification of its competitive landscape. In addition to traditional federations like the IPF, numerous other organizations have emerged, each with its own set of rules and standards. This diversification has allowed lifters to choose competitions that align with their preferences, whether they prefer equipped lifting or raw lifting, or different drug testing protocols. The sport's growth has been accompanied by advancements in training methodologies in sports science. Coaches and athletes have access to a wealth of information on nutrition, recovery, and technique, allowing them to optimize their performance. The use of technology, such as video analysis and wearable devices, has also become commonplace, helping lifters refine their techniques and track their progress. Powerlifting's influence extends beyond the competitive arena. The sport has played a significant role in promoting strength training and physical fitness to the general public. Many people incorporate powerlifting principles into their workouts to build strength and improve overall health. The sport's emphasis on discipline, perseverance, and goal setting has resonated with a wide audience. In recent years, powerlifting has continued to thrive, with record-breaking performances and growing participation rates. The sports community remains strong, with lifters supporting and motivating each other. Powerlifting competitions, both local and international, continue to attract large audiences, showcasing the incredible feats of strength that athletes are capable of achieving. Looking ahead, the future of powerlifting appears bright. The sport is likely to continue evolving with advancements in training, equipment, and competition formats. The powerlifting community's dedication to promoting the sport and fostering a positive and inclusive environment will ensure its continued growth and success. In conclusion, the past 100 years of powerlifting have been marked by significant milestones and achievements, from its early days of informal strength competitions to its current status of Eddie Hall doing that one deadlift he did. It's a globally recognized sport. Powerlifting has come a long way. The dedication and passion of athletes and overall human spirit will never cease to amaze and push boundaries for many, many years to come. I hope that you enjoyed this video on the past 100 years of powerlifting. Welcome to our journey through the past 100 years of calisthenics. In this video, we'll explore the evolution of this incredible form of exercise from its humble beginnings to its current status as a global fitness phenomenon.
School has developed a program that assures every student of physical excellence. Exercise on the grip swing puts muscles on the least athletic. Extension push-ups are among the toughest of the drills. As an incentive to excel, the color of the shorts the boys wear is determined by their ratings on performance charts. Some requirements for top ratings are stricter than for Annapolis Police. A lad who has mastered the pegboard will find a military obstacle course a snap. 200 schools across the country have adopted La Sierra's program of 15-minute daily competitive exercise.
Our story begins in the early 20th century. Calisthenics derived from the Greek word kalos, meaning beauty, and sthenos, meaning strength, was primarily used in military training and physical education. The focus was on basic bodyweight exercises such as push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups to build strength and endurance.
And made that the poster child of his program to make America a healthy place, because he understood that
By the 1950s and 60s, calisthenics had made its way into schools and public parks. The post-World War II era saw a surge in physical fitness awareness, and calisthenics became a staple in gym classes across the United States. The exercises were simple, effective, and required no special equipment, making them accessible to everyone.
All of us will participate, and in so doing, we'll be better citizens and happier ones. This is a challenge for us all. Children, boys and girls, college students, mothers and fathers, and all of us, I think, should welcome it. I hope all of you will join in a great national effort to build a strong and better America through physical effort.
The 1970s and 80s brought about a fitness revolution. Aerobics and bodybuilding gained popularity, but calisthenics remained a fundamental part of fitness routines. During this period, the concept of functional fitness began to emerge, emphasizing exercises that mimic everyday movements. Calisthenics fit perfectly into this philosophy, promoting natural movement patterns and overall body strength. In the 1990s and early 2000s, calisthenics experienced a resurgence, thanks in part to the rise of street workout culture. Enthusiasts began performing advanced bodyweight exercises in urban environments, transforming playgrounds and public spaces into outdoor gyms. This grassroots movement brought a new level of creativity and athleticism to calisthenics, inspiring many people worldwide, including myself. Shit, it's hard. Today, calisthenics is more popular than ever. Social media platforms like YouTube and Instagram have played a significant role in spreading the word. Influencers and athletes share their routines, challenges, and progress, motivating millions to take up calisthenics. The community-driven aspect of calisthenics fosters a sense of camaraderie and support, making it more than just a workout. It is a lifestyle. Competitions and events have also become a major part of the calisthenos world. Athletes from all over the globe gather to showcase their strength, skill, and creativity. These events highlight the incredible potential of the human body and push the limits of what can be achieved through calisthenics. One of the most remarkable aspects of calisthenics is its inclusivity. People of all ages, fitness levels, and backgrounds can participate. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced athlete, there's always room to progress and challenge yourself. The adaptability and scalability of calisthenics makes it a lifelong pursuit. As we look back over the past 100 years, it's clear that calisthenics has stood the test of time. Its simplicity, effectiveness, and accessibility have made it a cornerstone of physical fitness. As we move forward, calisthenics will undoubtedly continue to evolve, inspiring future generations to embrace the beauty and strength of the human body. That was the last 100 years of calisthenics summarized and condensed, and hopefully entertaining. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, comment, or subscribe and share. And that is it until next time. Have a blessed day and happy resistance training.